People, when I tell you I was nervous, I was nervous. My cousin came up to me and she was like, "Ayo, can you sew me this dress?" And I was like, girly pop, you really want to ask me to sew you a dress? I was nervous. I mean, I have been sewing for like 10 years, but I've always done stuff for myself. So like, I know my measurements. I like generally can tell if something is gonna fit or not. But she has different measurements, of course. Like, we're not the same people. So I was nervous, but I was like, girl, you know what? Let's do this. It's time. I should do stuff for other people as well. So hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Gloria, and it's so very nice to have you here. This is a bit different for me because, again, I have never done anything for anybody else, and she put her trust in me. I don't know if that was smart, but she did. So yeah, here you can see me like doing the pattern, like cutting out my pattern pieces. I don't really have any footage of me actually making the pattern because the pattern was something I've never done before, so I needed to figure out how to do that. So if you're interested, leave me a comment down below. I actually really liked the cutout on the top, so possibly I'm gonna do something like that for myself. So now that I know how it's done, I can explain it to some degree. But yeah, I just cut out all my pattern pieces. And yeah, she bought the fabric herself, and she kind of messed up because the original dress had sequins, sure, but it was way thinner, it was way more see-through, and the sequins weren't as packed up as they are on her fabric. And she chose two end game villains for me because it's sequin, like it has sequins and a shit ton of sequins, and it's also like stretchy, and I hate stretchy fabric. Nothing I hate more in this world than stretchy sequined fabric. Maybe velvet, maybe stretchy velvet fabric, that might be worse. But yeah, no. I mean, bless her heart, it's not her fault, she didn't know. But yeah, and the design that she wanted a lot of like draping, I guess you can call it, especially on a skirt, and this fabric was just way too thick. Like, I broke probably 5 needles doing this, like on the same spot, 5 needles, just like gone, gave up, didn't want to do this anymore. And honestly, the amount of like mental breakdowns I had doing this, the worst part is that this was not done for me. Like, I could not just try it on in between and be like, yeah, this is gonna fit, because like, no, it's not for me. I can't just try it on and be like, okay, yeah, this fits. I need to do it for somebody else. Like, I don't know how people do that. Like, maybe I was just distressed because it was my first time, but I don't get it. I don't get how people do that. They're like, yeah, just commissioning work here and there, left and right. I'm like, girl, what? This was so hard. And her measurements aren't that different to mine. Like, the waist measurement is like a centimeter or so off, but she has like more bust than me, so I couldn't even try on the top and be like, yeah, this fits, because like, no, I don't know if it fits or not. And the skirt, I don't know, people, I don't know. I was just really stressed. And my cousin, I mean, I love this girl, but she's a very particular person. Like, she's gonna tell you in your face if she hates it or if she loves it. And I was like, please just love it. Please just love it, because I don't know if I'm gonna survive if you don't. But yeah, I also try to make it look as professional as possible. Like, the inside to have lining and no like open seams or stuff like that, like stuff I would allow myself on my own projects, because it's like, yeah, it's only me who's gonna be wearing it, so who gives a fuck, basically. But for her, I was like, okay, you gotta make this nice and professional and clean and stuff like that. And it was until she came to like pick the dress up and have like the last fitting, and I needed to take it in on like the waist and the top, and I couldn't open up everything again because that would take way too much time. And honestly, I was so done with this dress, so I just cut it open and did my thing, and it's not pretty anymore. And I really tried to make it pretty and stuff like that, like professional, you know. I really wanted to have this be professional, and it was until she came for the fitting, and then it wasn't anymore. But I mean, she was satisfied. She said that she liked it and that she would wear it, and she did wear it. So I guess I did well, I don't know. But the more that I look at her wearing it, the more I'm like, girl, that shoulder is way too low, that sleeve is way too big, like what is going on? But we're gonna ignore that because it was my first time. And yeah, and the thing is, I did a mock-up. Of course I did a mock-up, but my mock-up fabric is not stretchy, which is not good if your actual fabric is stretchy. So yeah, the mock-up fit her great, I can say that. The dress, a little, yeah, the dress it's not perfect. But the thing is, the mistakes that I know that I've made are probably not something that people are gonna see. So that kind of calms me down, I guess. But it's not perfect, and I'm kind of annoyed that it's not, because this dress wasn't that hard. Like, it's not something where like, okay, it has like crazy corseting and whatnot. It's really not that hard. But the point is that I have never done something like that. Like, if I make like a gown or something, an evening dress or whatever, it always has a corset. So I'm so used to sewing corsets that something this quote-unquote basic was really hard, because I never really needed to do that. But yeah, it's okay, it's fine, it's gonna be better the next time. But yeah, it's gonna be better the next time. And I don't know how much you've been paying attention to the video or to me yapping, but I always top stitch the seams because I did not want to have the fabric roll around. And it was really important for me to secure the fabric because it's sequins. And anybody who has ever worn sequins in their life knows that sequins are painful and they are annoying, and you just hate them while you wear them. So I really tried to make it as comfortable as possible. And she said it was pretty comfortable until it wasn't. Because as much as you try, you just can't prevent sequins from scratching. So she needed to change in the evening. Like, she needed this dress for a wedding. I don't know if I've said that, but she needed a dress for a wedding, and she needed to change in the evening. But honestly, I was expecting that. And she also wanted it to be longer, like, not to have a train, but like be dragging on the ground. So at the end in the video, the dress, she's lifting the dress up because she can't walk in it. I was like, girl, do you really want it to be dragging on the ground because you can't walk in that? She's like, no, she loves that. I'm like, okay, girl, you do you. So it's too long for her, but like, that's not on me. So that was her choice. And it looks better in a picture, of course. We've all seen Met Gala looks where the dress is like way too long. They are like never able to walk in that, but it looks great. the hardest part about the dress is the fabric. Here you can see me changing out a needle once more. It's great, really. Wanted to sew this dress on my old sewing machine because I was like, I cannot do this to my new sewing machine, my poor baby. But she did not want to sew the fabric for whatever reason. She was bitching around, so I couldn't, and then I had to use my new sewing machine. But yeah, it went well until it didn't, until the needles broke and I was losing my marbles. But I somehow I did it. Don't ask me how. How I used like the hand thingy to sew. But yeah, that took me quite a while. Like, this dress challenged my stupid little head because I didn't want, I so did not want any open seams, like any seam allowance that could scratch her or what, like anything like that. I was doing like gymnastics in my head to figure out how to sew this in a way that would not scratch her up. And like for the zipper, I don't think I have footage of that, but I like cut out some bias tape from the lining fabric and I enclosed the zipper and the seam allowance in that to not have it scratch her, because I don't know, like I tried it on the dress like in between, because like it's generally similar measurements, not really but kind of, you know, and I tried it on and I just could not. Maybe I have I know that I have really sensitive skin, but I could not survive in this dress longer than like 2 minutes because those sequins are just painful, dude. I don't know how she did that, but I know when she tried it on, she was like, this is so comfortable. I'm like, girl, if I didn't know you any better, I think you'd be lying right now. But I know her, she was not lying. She's just built different. I don't know. But yeah, I needed to go back to my old sewing machine, and at that point she wasn't really making a fuss anymore, which was so weird. But anyway, I was grateful because I needed a zipper foot, and I do not have a zipper foot on my new sewing machine, so I needed it to use. I needed to use it on my old one. Oh, and another thing that went terribly wrong on my old sewing machine. My machine ate my fabric and I wanted to cry. That happened twice, and I needed to like put everything down for the night and just go to sleep and try it the next day. And somehow the next day she was cooperating again. I don't know, she has a temper, okay? She has a really bad temperament, so you just gotta go with the flow. But yeah, she ate my fabric twice, and I needed to open her up, like screw her open and stuff like that. It was not fun. Especially because I started this dress 3 days before my cousin was supposed to come and pick it up, right? Because of uni, because of procrastination, because of me being lazy, whatever. We don't talk about that. But yeah, so I was on a time crunch, which was totally my fault, but I was on a time crunch. So yeah, it was stressful, but I did it somehow. I don't know. And honestly, this dress is not something I would have ever made for myself. I know, because I love symmetry, right? I mean, of course, I have dresses which are not symmetrical at all, but in general, I love symmetry. So I usually would not do something that's not symmetrical. I don't know, it's a preference, I guess. And generally, I don't think I've ever done sleeves for an evening gown, which, like, I could do, maybe, I don't know. That would be something. But yeah, it was kind of, like, in hindsight, while sewing it was not fun at all. But in hindsight, actually, not the whole dress, but, like, a few elements of the dress, let's say it that way, I could maybe use for a future project. But yeah. But, like, honestly, all the stress was kind of worth it when she put it on and she was, like, happy about it. I was like, okay, I see you. Okay. And the, like, inspo pic had, like, a flower on the waist, and I was really leaning towards not putting it there because, again, the fabric was just not, like, it's not the right fabric for this kind of dress. And the waist part where, like, all the draping is happening is the part where all of my needles were breaking, you know? So I was like, I don't know if I want to put even more stuff on that part because it's already, like, stressing me out. I'm already scared that the zipper won't hold. I mean, it held, but I don't know. It was a bit, yeah. I did not feel comfortable. But I did the flower nonetheless. I didn't put it on till she tried the whole dress on. Like, she tried it on, and I held the flower to the part where it was supposed to be, and she was like, yeah, she liked that. She likes that. I was like, okay, girl, if you say so. Like, now that it's finished and I've seen it with the flower, I'm like, okay, girl, I see the vision, but it was a lot, right? Because the fabric is already a lot. Honestly, sewing the sleeves in was also really stressful because I do not remember the last time I needed to sew sleeves. Like, when did I sew sleeves? Like, I don't remember. Sleeves are always, a sore spot, I could say. Here you can see me, like, trying to do the flower somehow. I mean, it worked, but I cannot tell you how much I hate this fabric. But I'm so glad that she likes it, and honestly, she looks really cute in it, so it was all worth it.